Good morning. Welcome in. Let us know where you're joining us from in the comment section. I am Reverend Cynthia and in Las Vegas on a rainy Friday morning. Is it raining where you're at? So welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Make yourselves comfortable. And yes, let us know where you're joining us from. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone had a good night's rest. So I'm filling in for Terry Miles this morning, and I'm delighted to be here with you today. Good morning, Allie Norris. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us from Monterey Park. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Sharon. Are you guys having rain as well where you're at? It's so strange for it to have been raining as long as it has here in Las Vegas. It's been pretty cold. Good morning, Calvin. Good morning, Portia. Hi, Patricia. Katerina. Thank you for joining us from Canada. And Portia is in Oregon. Hi, Colleen. Thank you for joining us from San Pedro. Calvin, you're in LA. Good to see you. I'll be coming to Agape the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So if you're there, please come up. I'd love to say hi in person. So I'll be attending the 8:30. I'll be facilitating the meditation for the 8:30 service and then staying for the 9 a.m. for sure. So if you're in LA the Sunday after Thanksgiving and you're at Agape, please come say hello. Hi, Kisha. Thank you for joining us from North Carolina. And Patricia, good to see you too. Thank you for joining us from New York. Hi, Olive. How are you? Hi, Curtis. Thank you for joining us. It's good to see you. It's good to be with all of you. Hi, Dorothy. Thank you for joining us from Michigan. Hi, Jane. It's pouring in Carlsbad, huh? Yeah. There's so much in. Hi, Marvin. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Let's see. Deborah's joining us from San Francisco. It's good to be seen and it's good to be here with you guys. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you for joining us. Reverend Marcella, good to see you. Good to be with you. Kay's with us and Sally's with us. The gang's all here. Hi, Kimberly. Oh, wow. I know, I miss doing the prayers and staying connected with everyone. So whenever I can cover for someone, it's a joy, really. Hi, Susan. Good morning. So an update on my sister. Your prayers are powerful. Your prayers are miraculous. My sister is at home. She was released from the hospital. Right, and the first 2 or 3 days of when she was in the hospital, she was on a ventilator, she was in a coma. The doctors suspected meningitis or West Nile virus, and they weren't giving us much hope. I really thought that my sister was going to be crossing over. And she's only 45. She's 10 years younger than me. But she's been home. It's been about a week since she's been home. Her short-term memory hasn't come fully back online, but I notice improvement with her every day. And I just can't thank you guys enough for all of your prayers, because as I was being present with her through that experience, I felt like I was being carried on a field of in a field of grace, where everything felt like it was moving at a slow current, and I just felt peaceful. And thank you. So here's what I know: the doctors still have not said exactly what it was that happened, what triggered the whole thing. But I know that I don't need an individual, a human being, to write something on a piece of paper for me to know that God is always working in our lives. And and then Reverend Michael says this, right, that the universe is for us. So even this experience has facilitated a healing to occur between my sister and I. We had kind of grown apart over the last year, and it gave me an opportunity to set everything aside and not allow anything to matter other than simply being love with her. So as much as this is a healing journey for her, it has been a tremendous healing journey for me as well. So thank you so much for holding us, because there's just always so much more happening than what appears to be happening on the surface. So thank you for asking. Thank you, everyone, for your prayers, your love. And it's interesting because the story I'm going to share with you is from Greg Braden's book, and it talks about the power of prayer. Uh, Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Celeste and Catherine. Yeah. So I know that there is something wonderful for her. And you want to hear something kind of like weird, but good. My sister told me the other day when we were talking that her boyfriend, who transitioned a couple of years ago, showed up and sat next to her in the hospital room when she was in the coma. And that he told her what a wonderful life he's having now on the other side. And that he wanted her to know how much she is loved. And part of me thinks and feels that maybe she didn't know that previously, and maybe she would have crossed over if that was the case. Like there was no love here for her. And, but I think she sensed everyone around her loving her with all the prayers, that she decided to stay and give life another go. So thank you, Terry. Loving you, sending you so much love. So thank you, everyone, for being here today. And thank you, Marvin. So prayer is a powerful, powerful tool that we have, right? As you know, because you are here. So let's begin. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, and let's take a couple of deep breaths. And if you want, you can bring your hands to your heart. Let's take one more deep breath. All right, and as I share this story with you from Greg Braden's book, The Pure Human, The Hidden Truth of Our Divinity, Power, and Destiny, and it's called A Mother's Intuition, and it begins on page 133. And it says this: in the spring of 2012, T.J. Finley, a private in the Australian Army, was on a routine patrol with his military unit in a remote province of Afghanistan when suddenly he was blown off his feet from a shockwave of the violent explosion that occurred on the road in front of him. Stunned but still conscious, he looked up on the ground where he'd been thrown and saw the vehicle in front of him in flames. His convoy had either been the target of a roadside bomb or possibly taken a direct hit of a rocket-propelled grenade. A passenger in the burning vehicle in front of him was an Afghani soldier, a friend with whom TJ had recently bonded, as they were both fathers of young children that they missed during their deployment. Instinctively, TJ ran towards the burning vehicle to pull his friend and any survivor from the fire as quickly as possible. Due to a combination of TJ's training and his heroism, both he and his friend miraculously survived the attack in relatively good condition. Later that day, on a video conference call with his family in Brisbane, TJ recounted the harrowing experience to his wife, Kira. It was during this call that he learned that both his wife and his mother already knew that he had been in danger. And while they didn't know the specifics of what had happened, they didn't have to know that something was wrong. Earlier that day, TJ's mother had experienced a strong feeling that something had happened to him. Without having the details of her son's brush with disaster, she knew with absolute certainty that something was terribly wrong. Through the intuitive connection that she had known and felt with TJ from the time of his birth, she knew that he was in trouble. Relying on the power of their shared faith, his mother and Kira had both been in prayer for TJ's health and safety throughout the day. It was only after he contacted them later in the day that their intuition was validated and that they learned of the details of TJ's close call. Fortunately, this story of a mother's intuition regarding her son during a time of war had a good outcome. The question is this: how did TJ's mom know with such certainty that her son was in trouble? How could she have detected that he was in danger before receiving his call to the family or any notification from his commanding officer? So let me come back to our screen. Intuition, right? It's powerful, and the way that I interpret intuition is that when we are present in our body can be an instrument that notifies us when something is occurring, when there is a need or a call for prayer. One of the ways that we start to spend more time in our body is that we breathe more deeply, right? We breathe lower into our bellies because that area of the body, the stomach, has thousands of little antennas that are receiving the divine broadcast that spirit is always emanating. And because we're all a part of this unified field of consciousness, right? If someone is in need of prayer or assistance, even if they are on the other side of the world, when you and I are living within this divine vessel, this instrument, we can tap into that information in the quantum field. When we spend more time in our hearts, right, we have access to that unified field of consciousness, which gives us instantaneous knowing, right? What they refer to as nous, right? The gnosis. So that's why we want to cultivate the ability of making ourselves comfortable inside the body, because it's designed to assist us and assist those that we love, or even people that we don't know. So intuition, right, is always accessible to us. Hi, Lisa. Thank you so much. So first of all, that's how we can access our intuition, right, on a regular, consistent basis. But instead of going into panic and worry, what did they do next? right? His wife and his mother went into prayer. The second that they dropped into that field of oneness, of God, of love, of wholeness, I imagine that this like prayer field got activated around him while he was on the other side of the planet. And sometimes people don't know how they get through certain situations that may have felt very dire. And it was because somebody was holding that field of grace for them. That's kind of what happened, like with our case, with my sister and our situation. Like I said, she and I had not been speaking really over the last year, just because our lives are very different, right? And I've been listening to or reading Mel Robbins' book, Let Them, um, that which has allowed me to not have a judgment about how somebody wants to live their life. You just let them. And in turn, I give myself permission to live my life how I want to live it. And, but something told me on October the 25th, as Jesse and I were driving to California to celebrate his birthday, we were going to be going to a concert. And then the following day, we were going to be gathering with my granddaughter to celebrate her birthday. She was turning 17. And I had invited my parents and my son, but I had not invited my sister. And here's the kicker, you guys. So her birthday was on October the 18th, and she had not invited me to her birthday. So when I got the hit, the intuition to reach out to my sister and invite her, a part of me could have said, and maybe did for a second, you don't have to invite her, she didn't invite you. But there was an awareness, there was a process that happened internally that said, if I don't invite her, then whatever this thing is that is happening between us is going to continue for another year, right? Or who knows how long. And that wasn't something that I wanted to experience. So I sent her a text message as we were driving out to California. I said, we're going to be gathering in Ontario at this restaurant tomorrow at noon. Would you like to come? And she responded immediately with an exclamation point of, I will be there. And so not only did she come, but she brought my brother and my sister-in-law. And our family as a whole had not been together in many years, I believe. Um, and so that Sunday, on October the 26th, I believe, um, we were all together. And whatever things were going on in everybody's lives, any resentments that we had been holding towards one another, did not matter. The only thing that mattered was that we were together. And so we had a great time that Sunday. And by Wednesday, she was starting not to feel well. And she came home from work, but she doesn't remember leaving her job. She doesn't remember driving home from Long Beach to Bellflower. And by Thursday, she wasn't answering her phone anymore. And so her boyfriend went over to check on her. And when he walked in the door, her eyes were still open, but within minutes, she went into convulsions, was foaming at the mouth. He called 911. That evening, she was on a ventilator and in a coma. So, when our intuition speaks to us, it's there to guide us. And then during those few days where we didn't know if she was coming or going, staying or crossing over, I think part of the reason why I felt so peaceful, in addition to all of the prayers within which we were being held, was because I had listened to my intuition. I had chosen love over grudges. And I had had an opportunity to see her that Sunday. So I still didn't want her to cross over. But can you imagine how much worse I would have felt had I stuck to my guns and stayed in resentment, and then all of this had unfolded, right? I would have been in therapy for like the next couple of years, trying to deal with all of the feelings that come with something like that. So when I tell you that she, although it seems like she's the one that needed the assistance and the help, I too, even at this level, right, of my spiritual journey, she facilitated a lesson of love for me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so now our relationship is healing. We had a conversation the other day that lasted almost 2 hours. We went deep. It wasn't superficial like in the past. Nothing matters about how either one of us chooses to live our lives. The only thing that matters is love. So, and that's what we're about, right? So thank you. Yes, yes. Love always knows what to do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Celeste says, love heals relationships when we are open to the transformation. Absolutely. I am. And so, not only, right, am I like, God intuition is powerful, prayer is powerful, and love can heal anything. So, those are my three takeaways, right, from this experience. And Catherine says, this is giving me so much hope. Thank you. You're my pleasure, Marcella. And Kay says, take your time. Yes. Thank you, Patricia, for holding us. And so thank you for sharing your prayer requests here in the thread. If you haven't already, please include it here as I'll be going over them when we are done. And Lisa says, thank you so much for sharing. What an awful situation turned beautiful. Continued prayers for your sister and your family. Peace be with you. Thank you so much, Lisa. And so it's just amazing what is possible. And the divine intelligence of life, right? Even when we're hesitant to live more fully from the only thing that is real, which is love. And A Course in Miracles says there's only two things happening, right? Fear or love. Those are our two choices. So thank you. Let's see. Yes, all is well. Hi, Craig. Hi, Hero. And so, like I said, I will be at Agape, and I would love to thank you personally. If you're going to be in town the Sunday after Thanksgiving, I'll be there for the 8:30 meditation and the 9 a.m. service. So if you're there, please come up, say hi, give me a hug, so I can give you a hug. All right, so let's pray. Yeah. So I invite you to close your eyes and let's take a deep breath. And so how grateful I am, dear God, for your presence, for the love that Spirit is, the intelligence that it is, for all the infinite ways in which it shows up and manifests. To know that there truly is no separation, that there is really all one life, only one life, and that we are all a part of this oneness, of this wholeness. I'm grateful and thankful for the grace within which life, spirit, love shows up to heal us, to reveal to us our true nature, that we are made of this love, of this divine intelligence, of this grace, that it is here to reveal to us the power within us through our consciousness, through our hearts, through our intuitions, through every aspect of our being. We truly are the Creator expressing as each one of us, co-creating with it through our own set of individual circumstances, and to know that we can trust the way that life unfolds because it is here to reveal the light that is within us. To know that this is what this time of year is all about, when there is a light that is pouring in onto the planet, that is here to reveal the Christ light within us all, that is what Yeshua the Christ was here to share with us. That what he had accomplished was not something extraordinary and out of reach, but what each individual soul is here to remember. And the frequencies that are available at this time of year are designed to facilitate exactly that. And so that is the divine intelligence of this thing called life. We are here to remember our magnificence, our truth, our light. And when you and I arrive at this deep inner knowing, we function as beacons that allow others to see the light and begin to question and remember that they too have this same spark within them. This divine intelligence that created the universe, that resides at the very center of our being. This power that is the ultimate power, for there isn't God and something else. There is only God. To know that it is love without limit, without condition, that it is the grace that is always present, that it is the harmony, the order, the wholeness, the health, the vitality, the abundance, the all needs met consciousness that allows us to step into the lilies of the field consciousness, where we toil not, where we allow ourselves to be nourished and supported by this presence in every way, up from the soil and above from the heavens, becoming that bridge that brings heaven to earth now. To know that we are eternally one with this presence, for this presence is within ourselves, within our molecules, within our atoms. It is its life that is beating these hearts, and it is its breath that is breathing us. It is its divine intelligence that goes before us, lighting our own unique paths, lighting the way, speaking to us through our intuition, through our hearts, through the instant knowing of gnosis. And that as we continuously surrender anything and everything other than love, we step into this flow with life that allows us to experience the harmony and grace of it all, the miraculous, the magnificent, the awe-inspiring nature of God as life. And so I bless everyone that is listening here live, blessing everyone that tunes in later to this recording, to know that right where each of us is, this presence is. That we easily and gracefully surrender any outdated belief systems that have supported us up until now. And as we surrender them, we move and shift out of survival and to a thriving, to this beautiful co-creation of our lives with Spirit that allows us to experience the beauty, the majesty, the love. And so I'm blessing each one here, blessing Reverend Michael right where he is, knowing that all of his yeses have been a part of this divine plan for each of us, and that we then become the way showers that have an impact on our families, on our environments, anyone that comes into contact with us, that we too can speak a prayer for someone on the other side of the world, and this field of grace is activated anywhere that we put our attention, anywhere where we speak a word of truth, God is amplified. And so I'm grateful and thankful for the level of consciousness that is present here. That is what allows humanity to shift and heal as a collective. That allows our world to ascend into the next iteration of itself as we all rise in consciousness with Gaia. For she too is a sentient being. To know that we are one with all of life. And so I close out our time together deeply grateful for all that has already been revealed and facilitated by this loving intelligence of spirit, and all that will continue to unfold as each of our individual lives, but to know that it adds to the oneness that is all that there is. And so I bless us. I bless our day. I bless our week. I bless our holiday season. I bless this winter solstice season, this Christ consciousness season that we are entering into, that allows us to step into this next year in a way like we have never before, that allows us to experience more and more of what is fulfilling at the level of the soul. And so thank you, Spirit. I release this word, knowing it is already so, by saying, and so it is. So peace and blessings, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. Know that I'll go over your prayer request this morning. And I look forward to seeing you the Sunday after Thanksgiving if you're at Agape. And if not, I will be back in LA, I'm sure, more frequently as I visit with my family and sister. So have a beautiful, blessed day. Peace and blessings, everyone. I'll see you there, Calvin. You got it, Jane. I'm so glad.